Welcome back in one of the Baseball Please YouTube channel. Today is Sunday, February 16th, and I'm back breaking down some plays for Sunday afternoon. Saturday, still going on right now. Have not updated the leaderboard, but let's just say I need a massive, or I guess we need a massive run in the night games. Currently 7:10 p.m. Central Time. Watching Providence beat the crap out of Villanova. That is good. That's one of the only wins we have so far on the day. Looking at the recap so far, Bama money line, tough game. Got to 3 a couple times going up against Auburn, but Auburn really dominated that entire game. Arizona money line up by 7 points late in the game. Houston goes on a big run the last 4 minutes. They close them out, win that game. Virginia Tech down most of the game, dominated the last 8 minutes of the game, found a way to get down by 1, but Virginia made one too many shots, which is very rare to say for Virginia. Army money line went on an 11-2 run, up by 1 point with 3 minutes left, did not score another point in the game. Navy takes that one. Ole Miss getting the crap beat out of them by Mississippi State at home. Embarrassing for Ole Miss. Washington plus 6.5. We did win that one outright going up against Penn State. Penn State has given up. We have Providence on the money line. They are, this game's never been close. They are kicking the crap out of Villanova right now. That's poor coaching from Villanova. Thank you, Kyle. Neptune. Purdue loses outright going up against Wisconsin. Was a pretty fun game to watch. A couple players, maybe one player got ejected for Wisconsin on a bullshit call for the Badgers, but they did find a way to win that game outright by 10 points. It was closer than what the score said. And then the Syracuse-North Carolina game still going on right now. We are down by 7 with 2 minutes left, so we need to cover that Q's game. But even if we start with 5 or 6 losses, we still have Washington State with the points. We still have Western Kentucky money line. We still have Texas money line. Illinois 6-0 run to start the game. We have them minus 5.5. Things can still go our way. We can still at least get to 500 or maybe a little bit above 500. Player props right now, 1-1 start. Caleb Love went over the total points, and Braden Smith did not. Braden Smith had a horrible day for Purdue today. One of the big reasons why they took that loss outright. He was horrible in every aspect of the game. Lawyer played well. Coffin Wren played well. Who was the other? Caleb Frost played well. But Purdue as a team, they just couldn't get it done defensively. Wisconsin put it on a masterclass on the offensive side. So not a great day so far, but like I said, we got a ton of games left to potentially get us to 500 or maybe a little above 500 going into Sunday. We got some games on Sunday that I think are going to be very enjoyable to watch. We're going to start in the Big East here. Creighton going up against St. John's. This is a game I could see going either way. I'm actually going to change what I have on the graphic after just looking at the last couple of games that these teams played and then remembering what I saw with St. John's in the last game that they lost. Remember St. John's coming off a loss to Villanova. I said Villanova, huge letdown spot here going up against Providence, exactly what's happening. But we're going with St. John's here because they lost that game to Villanova by 2 points on the road. Villanova really didn't let them score anything inside. St. John's had one of their best three-point shooting percentages on the season. I think they made 11 or 12 threes in that game, came 1 3 short of finding a way to win the game on the road. But I think they're going to have to once again shoot from deep in this game. Creighton this year, they've been very good defensively. This is a team that does not foul a lot. They've actually been in a lot of these games this season that in the second half, they have maybe 1 or 2 fouls, and then they have to try to foul in order to get into the 1-and-1 if they're in a close game. So I think that might actually bite them in the ass in this one if they play a little bit weaker on the defensive side. I don't know if I could say weaker, but they play not as physical as you should on the defensive side. But they're very a good defensive team. They just don't foul a lot, which is why I'm going to take it under for one of the St. John's player prop. But both these teams coming off of a loss. The winner of this game has really, really good chance to win the Big East. If St. John's wins this game, they've basically got it wrapped up. If Creighton wins this game, they've got a chance to make a comeback. I think they'd only be 1 game down from St. John's. But these teams have played before. They've played at home for Creighton. Creighton won that game 57-56. It was a disgusting game. It was a rock fight the entire way. I think St. John's is way better than they were the first time these teams played last year on December 31st. This is a very good St. John's team defensively, offensively now, the way they've been shooting some threes. I think they dominate Creighton in this game on the outside. I'm going to take them here to cover the spread, minus 6.5. Disregard the graphic. It will be correct on the recap graphic. Let's go to the next play. Michigan going up against Ohio State. Michigan this season, I think they're a good team. Top 25 team in the country right now, but I think they're in trouble here going up against Ohio State because all season long, this Ohio State team's playing with one leg cut off. They've had to come back from multiple losses this season. They went on a 5-game losing streak with a mixed-in win against Minnesota. Now they're back 2-2 over the last 4 games. They desperately need to win this game if they want to be fighting for March Madness coming in a couple weeks. So they've got to win this game at home. It's going to be a quad one win going up against a top 25 team. There's no reason for these teams not to play very physical. They already hate each other anyway. So this is going to be a very physical game, one that Ohio State has to try to win on the outside, though. Michigan down low, Golden and Wolf, they're going to be two big bodies down there that might cause some problems. But I think Bruce Thornton, Mobley Jr., those guys have to find a way to get a bunch of buckets on the outside. I think Ohio State can do it. Hungry Dog runs fast when they're hungry. Give me Ohio State here on the money line as the second play for the third play of the day. Memphis going up against Wichita State. Wichita State's a team I follow very closely. I am from Kansas. I like watching Wichita State play. They're in trouble in this game. Wichita State has one win over Memphis over the last 5 years. That game was at home going up against Memphis. However, Wichita State's also lost by 8+ points in 3 of the other 4 games that they've played at home. So I do think Memphis in this one will find a way to win this game by double-digit points. They are laying 7.5 coming into this game. I just checked the spread. Didn't have it when I made the graphic, but they are going to lay 7.5. That's a pretty good number for the trend that I saw with the 8-point advantages for Memphis over the years. Memphis is also a very fast-paced, very physical team whenever they want to be on the defensive side, and they've got a bunch of scores on that side, on the offensive side of the floor. So I think they run the court here going up against Wichita State. There's 2 different Memphis teams that we could see. The first one is a Memphis team that plays at the pace of Wichita State, plays scared on the offensive side. The other one is a team that can score 100 points on any given night. This team is now in the top 15, ranked 14 in the country. We got to see the good Memphis in this game. If they let Wichita State stick around a little bit, they could potentially lose this game outright. But I think Memphis, with the way they've been playing, I think they have 8 or 9 consecutive wins in a row, 13 wins over the last 14 games, something like that. I saw the trend. But this Memphis team, they have to play at their pace. They have to play fast. They've got to be aggressive on the offensive side, and they have to cause turnovers on the defensive side. Easy as that. Give me Memphis here, minus 7.5. I think they are outclassed Wichita State in this game. So let's move on to the player props for tomorrow. First player prop of the day. Took his over, I think it was Wednesday night, whenever they played Villanova. He did cash the over of 17 points. The problem that we have here with Kadary Richmond this game is that he's going up against Ryan Cockburner. Now, Kadary Richmond is not a guy who lets it fly from deep. He's only shot 5 3-point attempts in the last 3 games. He hasn't made any of those shots. So he's definitely a guy who has to make mid-range, or actually what he actually does is goes directly to the rim. He's got to get himself to the rim in order to score points. Sometimes he gets himself at the free throw line. He attempts about 6 shots over the last 3 games per game. That's going to be a problem because, again, Creighton, they hardly foul any team this season. So he's not really going to be drawing a lot of fouls in this game, I don't think. And with Ryan Cockburner down low, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to get any sort of layups, any sort of easy buckets in the paint. So I'm going to go with the under in this game for him going up against Creighton. 12.5 is my guess. First time he played Creighton, 4-10 from the field, 9 points, no threes attempted, only 3 free throws in that game. I want to see something similar to that for his under player prop, but I still think St. John's, the Johnnies, with the guys they have, Lewis for sure, he's going to have himself a monster day, but I just wanted to mix in under for you guys. But give me Kadary Richmond here, under his total points. I think Cockburner makes life very hard for him in this game. For the next play, we are going to be going to Ohio State. And I've said this many times about this Ohio State team. Bruce Thornton is their best player by a wide margin. Sometimes he hides a little bit. Can't hide in this game from the spotlight. He has to come out in this game, shoot 18+ times, between 18 and 20 times. He's got to put up a big number for them to beat Michigan in this game. I said they got to try to make some threes. This is definitely the guy you need to take some threes in this game with Mobley Jr. I think Ohio State will lean on Bruce Thornton in this game. I love Bruce Thornton because he's a team-first guy. You will hardly ever see him reaching to take a shot. He's not a chucker. He's very efficient whenever he shoots the ball, but this is not the game to be that kind of player. He's got to be very aggressive in this game. He's got to take the most shots in this game, and he's got to lead his team to a victory, because if they lose this game, they're on the outside looking in for March Madness. They got to win their conference tournament in order to get into March Madness. So I'm going to look for Bruce Thornton here, the best player on this team, to have himself a monster day. 17 points in the last game going up against Washington. Last time he played at home against a top 25 team, that was Maryland. He scored 31 points, 18 shots, 11 of 18 from the field. We need to see that kind of performance here from Bruce Thornton as the final play of the day. Let's go take a look at the recap graphic. We are going to be going with Ohio State on the money line. We're going to take St. John's minus 6.5 going up against Creighton. I think St. John's makes a statement in this game. And then Memphis going to be minus 7.5 going up against Wichita State. Kadary Richmond under 12.5 points going up against Creighton. Cockburner going to be a problem. And then Bruce Thornton over his total points going up against Michigan. Can't be shy in this game. Take a bunch of shots, score a bunch of points, help your team come away with the win. Guys, that's going to do it for the NCAA basketball picks and props for Sunday, February 16th slated games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.